Italy, Beretta 92FS. The Beretta 92FS entered service during a pivot point in history when steel and aluminum defined the firearms industry, replacing older lower-capacity designs in the mid-1970s with a 15-round magazine that stunned military planners. Italian officers carrying this 9mm parabellum sidearm holster is a piece of industrial art that prioritizes mechanical certainty over the modern trend of ease of carry. The most striking feature remains the open slide architecture, which exposes the barrel top and virtually eliminates the risk of a stovepipe jam by giving the spent brass a clear, unobstructed path of exit. This design choice creates a distinct visual profile that separates it from the blocky silhouettes of modern competitors, offering a classic aesthetic that masks its lethal efficiency. Handling the weapon reveals a specific balance point that only metal-framed pistols possess. The aluminum alloy frame provides substantial mass to absorb the snap of the cartridge, transferring a rolling recoil impulse into the palm rather than the sharp shock associated with lighter polymer alternatives. With a barrel length of 4.9 inches, the sight radius allows for exceptional precision at extended ranges, giving the operator a distinct advantage in open environments. The double-action trigger pull requires a deliberate heavy squeeze for the first shot, acting as a physical safety barrier against stress-induced discharge without the need for a manual lever manipulation. Subsequent shots benefit from the single-action mechanism breaking cleanly and allowing for rapid follow-up engagements. In the hands of the Polizia di Stato, this weapon represents a steadfast commitment to shootability and operational endurance, favoring a substantial platform that performs consistently even after decades of hard use. Brazil, Glock 1719 and 22. The Brazilian Federal Police operates in environments that range from the suffocating humidity of the Amazon basin to the abrasive grit of urban favelas, requiring a service weapon that functions with absolute indifference to the elements. The Austrian Glock platform dominates this space by removing external complexity. The design relies on the Safe Action System, a striker-fired mechanism that maintains a consistent trigger pull from the first round to the last. This consistency proves vital under high-stress physiological conditions where fine motor skills degrade and muscle memory must take over. For an officer navigating a favela raid, the simplicity of draw and squeeze eliminates variables that could lead to hesitation or failure. Beneath the utilitarian exterior lies a fascinating application of material science. The polymer frame possesses a degree of flex during the firing cycle, dampening the energy transfer to the shooter's hand and allowing for faster sight recovery compared to rigid steel frames. The tenifer metal treatment on the slide penetrates the steel molecularly, offering corrosion resistance that withstands the tropical climate far better than traditional bluing or parkerizing. Depending on the unit, officers carry the 9mm version or the punchier 40 Smith & Wesson, with the full-size models measuring roughly 7.95 inches in length. The magazine capacity, typically 17 rounds for the 9mm variants, provides sustainable firepower in protracted engagements. The Glock represents the triumph of industrial minimalism, where every pin spring and lever exists solely to ensure the projectile leaves the barrel, stripping away any feature that does not directly contribute to the firing cycle. Japan, Smith & Wesson M360J Sakura. Japanese policing doctrine approaches the concept of the sidearm from a perspective of restraint and absolute mechanical transparency. The Smith & Wesson M360J Sakura embodies this philosophy, prioritizing safety and weight over capacity. While most of the world standardizes on 15-round magazines, this 5-shot revolver integrates specific metallurgical advancements to suit the needs of officers who carry constantly but fire rarely. The frame utilizes a scandium alloy, a rare earth element that strengthens aluminum, allowing for a weapon that rides unnoticed on the belt due to its feather-light mass. This weight reduction reduces fatigue during long shifts, ensuring the officer remains agile and unburdened. The choice of a revolver mechanism eliminates the possibility of failure to feed malfunctions, as the weapon operates without relying on the energy of the fired cartridge to cycle. If a round fails to ignite, the officer simply pulls the trigger again to rotate a fresh cylinder chamber into line, bypassing the immediate action drills required for semi-automatics. This specific model features grip geometry digitized and scaled specifically for the average hand size of Japanese officers, differing significantly from the American market J-frames. The barrel measures a mere 1.875 inches, optimizing the weapon for concealment and retention rather than long-range engagement. A prominent lanyard loop at the grip base integrates with the uniform securing the weapon against loss. This sidearm functions as a precise fail-safe contingency tool, reflecting a society that views firearm usage as an extreme anomaly, requiring a deliberate, measured response. Russia, MP443 Grach Yarigan. The MP443 Grach marks a distinct shift in Russian small arms design, moving away from the compact simplicity of the Cold War era toward a requirement for a high-velocity barrier penetration. Designed to counter modern body armor, the Grach is a robust all-steel hammer-fired pistol that feels built to survive ballistic abuse. Its defining characteristic connects directly to the 7N21 ammunition. It fires a high-pressure 9mm round featuring a dedicated steel penetrator core. The pistol's heavy construction and dual-spring recoil system manage the significantly higher chamber pressures of this armor-defeating load, translating the violent explosion into manageable recoil for the operator. A look at the slide reveals a high-bore axis and a distinctly industrial aesthetic prioritizing clearance and operation over sleek lines. The locking mechanism utilizes a cam-operated tilting barrel, ensuring reliable cycling, even when the weapon is fouled by carbon or mud. Its 18-round double-stack magazine brings overwhelming firepower to the operator, a significant upgrade from the 8-round capacity of previous Makarovs. Crucially, the internal tolerances remain intentionally generous. This loose fit allows the weapon to cycle reliably even in the freezing temperatures of a Siberian winter, where tighter Western tolerances might bind. The pistol measures approximately 7.8 inches in length, presenting a substantial profile. The exposed hammer offers visual confirmation of the weapon's state, a feature favored by Russian tactical doctrine for its immediate readability. The Grach serves as a specialized tool for a high-threat environment valuing penetration and ruggedness above all else. South Korea, Smith & Wesson, Model 60. The Korean National Police Agency employs the Smith & Wesson Model 60 with a procedural doctrine that transforms the revolver into a distinct de-escalation device. This stainless steel J-frame revolver gained fame as the first stainless revolver ever produced, offering exceptional resistance to the humid Korean climate and the corrosive effects of perspiration during summer patrols. However, the hardware supports a unique engagement sequence. Officers typically load the first chamber of the cylinder with a blank cartridge. This creates a mandatory escalation step, where the initial trigger pull results in a loud report and muzzle flash, but discharges no projectile, serving as an intense psychological warning. This operational requirement aligns perfectly with the revolver platform. An officer can visually inspect the cylinder face to verify that the blank cartridge sits in the primary position, a safety check impossible to perform at a glance with a semi-automatic magazine. The Model 60's double-action trigger provides a long, deliberate pull, adding a layer of physical confirmation before the hammer drops. This setup demands conscious effort to fire, reducing the likelihood of accidental discharges during tense standoffs. With a compact 2.125-inch barrel, the weapon balances easily on the belt. It essentially functions as a signaling device first and a lethal instrument second, embodying a strict hierarchy of force preservation that relies on the mechanical clarity of the revolver design to enforce specific rules of engagement. Germany, Heckler & Koch P-30. The Heckler & Koch P-30, utilized by the German Federal Police, represents the apex of ergonomic engineering in service pistols. The grip frame features a modular architecture consisting of interchangeable back straps and side panels, allowing for 27 unique grip configurations. This level of customization ensures that the weapon interfaces perfectly with the shooter's hand, regardless of glove size or palm width, directly translating to improved recoil control and point-of-aim stability. The 9mm platform feels like an extension of the arm, rather than a foreign object, allowing the operator to focus entirely on the threat rather than the manipulation of the tool. One of the most technically interesting features sits discreetly on the rear of the slide adjacent to the hammer. The P-30 employs a decocking button rather than a conventional lever. This push-button placement keeps the slide profile smooth and snag-free, preventing the controls from catching on clothing during a draw. Inside the barrel, HK utilizes polygonal rifling instead of traditional lands and grooves. This profile creates a tighter gas seal around the bullet, slightly increasing muzzle velocity and extending barrel life by reducing friction. With an overall length of 6.95 inches, it balances compactness with duty-grade performance. The luminous sights are typically charged by ambient light, providing a clear sight picture in transitional lighting conditions. The P-30 operates with the precision of a fine instrument, designed for a policing culture that treats marksmanship as an exacting technical discipline, requiring equipment that eliminates mechanical variables. China, QSZ-92. The QSZ-92 demonstrates China's commitment to developing indigenous small arms technology that diverges from both Soviet and Western lineage. While it outwardly resembles a standard modern service pistol, the internal operating system features a rare rotating barrel locking mechanism. Upon firing the 9mm cartridge, the barrel rotates on its axis to unlock from the slide rather than tilting downward. This rotation absorbs a portion of the recoil energy through torque and keeps the barrel axis in constant alignment with the target, enhancing follow-up shot accuracy and reducing muzzle flip. This mechanical nuance gives the weapon a distinct recoil impulse that feels flatter than typical tilting barrel designs. The frame combines a polymer grip shell with a robust steel chassis insert, creating a hybrid structure that offers durability where the slide contacts the frame. The feed system is equally distinctive, utilizing a double-column, double-feed magazine, similar to a rifle rather than the single feed point found in almost all other pistols. This design requires less force to load the magazine and provides a more direct path for the cartridge into the chamber, theoretically improving reliability under adverse conditions. The standard barrel length sits at 4.3 inches, providing adequate velocity for duty ammunition. The aesthetics are utilitarian, lacking the refined finish of European counterparts, but focusing heavily on function. The QSZ-92 stands as a statement of engineering independence, prioritizing novel mechanical solutions to solve the age-old problems of recoil management and feed reliability. Canada, Sig Sauer P-320. The adoption of the Sig Sauer P-320 by Canadian law enforcement signals a fundamental shift in how agencies view the lifespan and maintenance of a firearm. The P-320 introduces the concept of the chassis-based handgun, where the serialized legal firearm consists of a stainless steel fire control unit (FCU) residing inside the grip module. This architecture allows armorers to replace the entire polymer grip frame for pennies if it becomes damaged, or to accommodate different hand sizes, treating the external shell as a disposable consumable rather than a permanent component. This flexibility drastically reduces long-term maintenance costs and simplifies logistics for a large, diverse force. The striker-fired mechanism provides a consistent trigger brake that simplifies training, removing the learning curve associated with mastering two different trigger pulls found in older double-action systems. A high undercut on the trigger guard allows the shooter's hand to sit higher on the gun, bringing the bore axis closer to the wrist. This geometric advantage reduces the leverage the recoiling slide has on the wrist, keeping the muzzle flatter during rapid-fire strings. Chambered in 9mm, the full-size configuration offers a 4.7-inch barrel that maximizes ballistic performance. By moving to the P-320, Canadian agencies have adopted a platform that functions more like a modular system of components than a static tool, future-proofing their armories against changes in officer demographics and tactical requirements. France. Sig Sauer SP 2022. The French government's procurement of the Sig Sauer SP 2022 stands as one of the most significant single acquisitions in modern firearms history, equipping every branch of law enforcement with a unified platform. This pistol merges the traditional hammer-fired operation preferred in Europe with a lightweight polymer frame. Its longevity is legendary. The barrel and slide interface are engineered to endure tens of thousands of rounds without significant accuracy degradation. A loaded chamber indicator takes the form of a tactile extractor, allowing an officer to physically feel the presence of a 9mm round in the chamber in total darkness, a vital feature for low-light operations where visual confirmation is impossible. The SP-2022 features a unique integral grip texture that remains aggressive enough for traction in wet conditions without abrading uniforms during daily carry. Its fire control group is contained within a modular unit, similar to later designs simplifying deep cleaning and repair. The pistol measures 7.4 inches in overall length, striking a balance between concealability and combat effectiveness. It includes a Picatinny rail for mounting tactical lights, a feature that modernized the capabilities of French officers responding to varied threats. It operates with a level of boring reliability that often escapes the limelight, delivering premium Swiss-German engineering at a scale that makes it cost-effective. For the French police, the SP-2022 serves as a durable all-weather companion that balances the safety of a heavy double-action first pull with the lightweight advantages of modern materials. Vietnam CZ P-07 duty. The transition to the CZ P-07 duty represents a quantum leap in capability for Vietnamese police forces, moving from the limited capacity of Cold War-era hardware to a modern high-capacity tactical platform. The P-07 distinguishes itself with the Omega trigger system, a simplified mechanism that offers a smoother, lighter pull than previous military designs, while allowing for easier maintenance. The slide rides inside the frame rails, a signature design element of the CZ lineage rather than over them. This configuration significantly lowers the bore axis, placing the barrel closer to the shooter's hand and creating a tighter mechanical lockup between the slide and frame. This low center of gravity proves crucial for recoil management, directing the 9mm energy straight back into the arm rather than snapping the muzzle upward. For officers, this translates to faster target reacquisition and greater control during rapid fire. The polymer frame incorporates a standard accessory rail for mounting lights, a capability completely absent in the older K-59, enhancing effectiveness in low-light raids. With a 3.75-inch barrel, the weapon remains compact enough for comfortable carry while retaining accuracy. The capacity increases to 15 rounds, offering a significant tactical advantage in prolonged engagements. The P-07 balances compact dimensions with full-size performance, providing a sophisticated ergonomic tool that significantly multiplies the operational effectiveness of the force.